and everything should be up and running, then we can say hello and welcome today at the RS5 Season 4 race at Canada. I'll be your commentator today. Let me introduce myself. I'm new to the channel, but I'm Rick, aka always Rick 2, and today we are watching Canada here and RS5. We are currently on board with James Screws, as he is on his outlap for his first car. As I'm setting up the monitors at the moment, so you guys can see which cars are on what tire. As we can see, James Screws now on his hot lap. And also the McLaren of Ulrich Fariski is on our outlap. And we can see, oh, it's Alfa Romeo who spun, and the McLaren hit the wall for a moment. So that will definitely affect his first lap time. As we go quickly through the standing top 5 at this moment for the championship. We had P1, we have Te Lunacy with 36 points, P2 Trap Formula with 26 points, P3 Joro with 23 points, BB10 Pro with also 26 points at P4, and at P5 we got a Red Bull of Hold Up Mandan with 21 points, as the racing point of Jamie Cruz goes to the pit lane, so he should have made a bit of a mistake somewhere. As we are now on board with Keycon, who's also going into the pit. And Semi Pro just set it up the fastest lap as first with a 1:11.8, and right away ASAP Rocky goes over it with on mediums with a 1:10.4 at P2, and then we have the Mercedes of B10 Pro with a 1:9.2. So great time for him so far. And also Honest Crook is setting a lap at P2 with a 9.4. So 2 fast laps so far at P1 and P2. Let's see if someone can try and attack those times, as 10 Sandless has invalidated. And we see Nifa Sweden going for it. And what will his time be? It will be a 1:9.8. There's also the other Mercedes has put it up a lap with a 1:9.8 also. So that's very close behind each other, as the gap forms from P5 as Tent goes into the pits. And here we have the Alpha Tauri of Chander going for a hot lap. Let's see what his time will be. Good exit there, and it's a 1:10 flat. Let's see who's on another. And we have Joro here in sector 1. Oh, and he invalidated, but he's on his outlap, so there's no worries for him so far, as the Haas of Ferry already 2 laps on his softs set it up a faster sector 1. But yeah, interesting to see what he's gonna do on those older tires already. As he's going through the hairpin right now. Very difficult turn there. Easily to lose your backhand. but he managed to keep it clean and going onto the straight right now. Into the last chicane. Good exit there. And his time will be 1:10.2. So that brings him up in P6, but not really close to the first starting row. As also Joe is on his hot lap now, set it up a faster sector 1. Oh, and a bit of a slip there. Faster sector 2, so he will definitely attack those guys in front with this time. Going for the straights on full DRS. And let's see what his time will be. And it's gonna be a 1:9.4, so not fast enough for P1, but he is in P2, so that's a good lap from him, as we are looking for the next guy who's setting a lap. And 10th invalidated, as Lunacy is going for his hard lap in sector 3 right now, but he's already in the 55, so I don't know he will make it for the first starting rows. I believe he made somewhere a little mistake, but oh, he did, and it's a 1:9.3, so that's a good lap from him. Fast sector 3 so far. And we have a lot of guys going for the pits, waiting to see what it's all gonna be. As we are watching the Williams of Future Dreamer. Going for the last corners right now. Good exit from him, and he will be in P7, so a good lap for him too on those mediums. And 10th now invalidating again. As hold up man Dan is going for his lap into the right first corner, onto the third. Also a very difficult turn there. It's easy to invalidate or lose your back end and hit the wall if you go up too wide. As we heard from sources that the race is also gonna be dry, so no change in strategy so far, and Red Bull just set it up the fastest lap, a fastest sector 2. But of course we have already seen that a lot of times by a lot of cars, and in the end they couldn't make it far enough. But he is managing it very well and going on the line, and he's P5 with a 1:9.5. As the top 10 is now quite close behind each other. Also the P11 is close behind there, so it should be a really spectacular qualifying in the continue. And he's on an out lap, so let's wait for there as Olorin is going for his new hard lap on those soft tires. Oh, and a bit wide there, hit the wall a little bit, but he managed to keep it and then 1-9, but no places up for him. 1 place up for him, excuse me. And James Cruz also invalidated his next lap, and he's already on 3 lap old soft tires. So he will definitely go to the pit right now, as Honest Crook is now on his medium lap. In sector 2. So what will his time be? Also taking a close look to the board, see if anyone shifts up a place, but no time so far. And he is invalidated in the last corner, so that's that sucks, because then also your next lap won't be counting. And let's see, we have the Ferrari of NIF Sweden. Almost to the last corners. And it looks like a very fast lap for him so far, and it is. It's P9 for him. So great time there. And also 10 is going for it. And he's setting up a 197, and that brings him up to P11. No P10 for him so far, but of course he had quite a struggle finding the right line, invalidating a few times. And I do believe, as we see, keep seeing a lot more cars going into the 1.9s. For me it speaks like the rubber is gripping up the track. So the cars are faster, of course, than the first laps. And that will be interesting to see if BB10 can go for a 1.8. As the rubber is really gripping up the track. So let's see if he is gonna manage to improve his time so far. And he's onto the straight right now. And Gender is setting up a faster lap than him, so he's taking P1 right now. But can BB10 Pro hook in? And he is. He's in a 1.89, so that's a very good lap from him. So the track is definitely getting faster at the moment, and with only 1 minute and 50 seconds to go, who will be attacking those front rows? Of course we know Joro can make it, who invalidated on his hard lap, on his out lap, but that's no fault at all. And it's Nifa Sweden off the track, and he DNF'd. How unfortunate for him. So that's really unfortunate for him. I sadly missed it. And there's a new fastest lap of the Williams of future Dreamliner with a 187. So that's 2/10 quicker than the Mercedes at P2. And that's a really good lap. As also Blender for Life is out of the session. What happened there? He is still driving, so maybe a little connection loss. But also unfortunate for him, he's not gonna make it to improve his time. As everyone is on last lap right now. And there is the Lunacy at P2 with a 188. Also a really good lap from him, but still everyone really close. And also BB10 Pro got off. So how unfortunate, and future Dreamliner also. So what happened to those cars? And we have no further yellow flags off the track. So oh, and ASAP Rocky hit the wall there. So let's hope he didn't catch up some front wing damage. Excuse me. And he didn't. So that's good luck for him. But yeah, also on 3 lap old soft tires. And with fuel system on max, so these tires are really heating up quickly. And he invalidated and hit the wall, so no improvement from him. And that's it for today, I guess. Because Olerin invalidated. And also James Cruz lost connection, and Lunacy also. So a lot of cars retired last seconds of the qualifying. As we go through the standings right now from the qualifying, we got Future Dreamer in the Williams at P1 with a 187, so a very good lap from him. Then Tel Lunacy with an Alpha Tauri at P2 with a 188. BB10 Pro with the Mercedes at the 189 at P3. Then 10 Sandless with the Alfa Romeo on P4 with a 189. And Honest Crook in the Williams on 19 flat at P5. So all very close to each other, as I can see that almost to P15 is within a second of the first car to start, so that's P1. So definitely gonna be interesting what these guys can manage. As we are waiting for the players to set up their cars, choose their strategies, and let's hope for a really good race. And that is the timer, so we're gonna start soon. And there we go, and we are on the warming up lap, watching the Williams of future Dreamliner leading the pack for today's race at Canada. Personally, I really love this track, so let's hope these cars can keep it clean enough to finish. It is the track has some really risky corners and a really fast and long straight, so there will definitely become some action. We can definitely come see to action there. And also, if you're close enough at start finish, you can really manage to overtake the car in front of you. But then you need to line it up good enough for the next two corners. As if you go for the inside at corner 1, then you all of course will be on the outside of corner 2. So definitely gonna be curious to see how these cars are gonna try to keep it clean there, as the grid is forming up again, and then it's counting for those red lights. Let's see the tires at the moment. I'm sorry, I forgot. And the entire top 11 actually on a soft tire, and also two other cars at 14 and 15 on soft tires, so they will attack the front. And there are 5 red lights and they're off, and we are going for the race here at Canada, as Tenna Lunacy has a really great start and future Dreamliner keeps it in front of him. Let's watch the back, see if everybody got through close. Oh, there was a little contact there, I guess, and we have a yellow flag, and it would be, yeah, Chandler is off, but he's still running, so that's good for him. And we also already have an attack here on the Williams and the Red Bull, and the Williams losing a lot of places now because of that attack. He's 4 cars going for it, but he managed to keep it on his place and keeps the hold of P6. And let's see where we can find the action so far. As we can see, a lot of things going on here. Two cars wide going for turn 1, keeping it clean so far. And can ASAP Rocky take advantage? No, he doesn't. Keeps it behind him, and here we are back into the fight again. He's going for a little dive bomb. Nah, he doesn't. And oh, the Lunacy overtook future Dreamliner, and he is at P1 right now. And also the Merc is coming up from BB10 Pro, and there was a little touch here. And can he cross him back? He was almost able to, but now he's on the straight and going for it here. Side to side on the straight, and he's through. So good overtake for him, as the future Dreamliner not so well for him, as he loses 10 places. And Joro moving up in the... Oh, and he got knocked off. And there goes his front wing. Yeah, there was definitely a touch with the Merc of Miji. And that's really unfortunate for Jaro, as he needs to put up a new lap to go through the pit lane. And that's hard, because he has a lot of wing damage there. As the Merc also picks up a 3-second penalty already. And the future Dreamliner strikes back on the Merc and takes back P2. As 10 is looking for the gap on the Merc in front of him. As we see a little lock up there, but no big mistakes so far. And also Semi-Pro seems to close in really quick. So let's have a look at the back. And Honest Crook, he's going for it and he's through on DRS. And a very clean overtake from him. And let's see where it keeps. Oh, and Chandler went wide and loses his spot against Semi-Pro. Unfortunate for him. And here we are watching BB10 Pro still really close behind future Dreamliner. As 10 Sandals takes a 3-second penalty. So that will affect him at the end of the race. As it looks like Joro is still. Can we have a different camera please? Game. And yeah, Joro is still running with that damaged front wing. So he managing to keep it clean enough, and within 4 seconds or 5 seconds of the car in front, as we see ASAP Rocky going for the attack here, and he puts it through. Ooh, excuse me, and he is on to place 7. So good overtake from him. A lot of things going on right now at the moment, so excuse me if I miss some action. And we see Blender and Semi-Pro already on the hard tire so far. So they have been pitted, and also Joro went in the pit, setting up a new. And we have a yellow in sector 1, so that will be one of these guys, but they're still driving. Can we see some front wing damage at one of them? No, so I guess it was just a little slip. And the Williams strikes back at the racing point. So a really good clean fight going on here. As also the Merc is trying to overtake the racing point here, looking for the gap. Oh, and he's ASAP Rocky struggled a bit with grip there. Bit too early on the acceleration. But still within DRS of the guy in front of him. And also James Cruz closing in on the Ferrari of Nivas, Sweden. And Blender for Life, yeah, closing in on those hards at Semi-Pro, but can he manage to get within a second, as P10 BBP10 is now at P1, so missed that action for a bit, but he overtook the Lunacy. And of course, we already seen him fight a lot with Future Dreamliner, closing the gap, keep closing the gap at the front, and now he's at P1. There's a lot of guys getting penalties right now, so let's have a look at that. As we can see, semi-pro already on 8-second penalty, so that's really unfortunate for him. Of course there will be a 5-second in there, so he can trade them in a serve them in a pit stop, but yeah, not what you want to, well, not actually what you want starting from such a way back. Chandler also on a 3-second penalty. Then we have ASAP and Miji also on a 3-second penalty. And then Tent, Hold Up Man and Ferry also have a 3-second penalty. So that will definitely affect their race at the end of this track. And let's see in position changes, as BBT10 Pro of course took 2 positions here, and it's a yellow flag in sector 3. So for who is that gonna be? And it's for ASAP Rocky. How unfortunate for him. Does he have front wing damage? I do believe he does, because he was very deep in the wall there, but yeah, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. It's just a little side wing, but of course it will affect your racing. And then going back to the oh, and also the McLaren spun, so that's a bit unfortunate, but he didn't take any wing damage, so he was just sideways on the track. And yeah, this is one of the things we know about Canada. Early acceleration in some corners can be fatal. And yeah, these guys are having those problems right now. As Future Dreamliner is already in the pit lane, and that makes his teammate P4, the Mercedes of Miji at P3, the Lunacy still at P2, and Baby 10 Pro at P1. So let's see the changes in tire. And a lot of guys just went in for the... We have a yellow flag, and it's semi-pro. He's off. He's off, and yeah, still miss it. Okay, so that's a little glitch there. I see the Merc backtail as we are watching ASAP Rocky, so that's a little strange glitch there. But yeah, so semi-pro, not a great race for him, as he DNF'd in lap 9. Excuse me for the gapping, it's really early here in Holland, so and a lot of guys taking on penalties right now. So yeah, that is one of the other things Canada can do, because of the tight corners. It's really easy to take it a bit too early and go outside line. And of course 3 warnings is a penalty, and a lot of guys are struggling with it. But yeah, so far kind of a lucky race for ASAP Rocky and Jaro. And also the Lunacy, who is on a new soft. So he's changed strategy, I guess. He's definitely going for a 2-stopper. But on paper it's of course faster to go for your for the soft medium. as we have BB10 Pro just fresh out of the pits and on new medium tires, as Lunacy is in front of him. So a little bit of undercut there. Good work from him. It's a little train forming up behind Nifa Sweden. Definitely something to keep an eye on right now at the moment, I guess, as all these cars are quite close behind each other. But of course Nifa Sweden still on the soft tire. And a little bit of lock up there. That's not what you want when you are defending your place. And Chandler now at DRS. And a lot more ERS. And he's clean through, so good overtake from him. And also Lunacy is fighting against 10th Sandals. And he's through. Had to take a little bit of a sort of a corner cut there, but to manage that overtake. But he still got it, and no penalties so far for him. So virtually he is P1 at the moment. Let's look up some action at the back at the moment, because we are seeing some changes in times there, as Honest Crook tries to keep it close behind Nifa Sweden, but of course it's a DRS train right here. And also James Cruz trying to hook in on this train, making it a 5-car train, which is always spectacular to see. Some guys are really good at saving ERS. As we can see the difference already here, we have 35 DRS percent, and Nifa Sweden already at 3%. So for the long straight he ain't gonna make it on just DRS, with a lot of guys still. And we have a virtual safety car. So what happened here? And it's for ASAP Rocky. He's out of the race. How unfortunate for him. We already saw him spin and at the finishing line, and now he's off the track. And he DNF'd. So how unfortunate for him. Had a really good qualifying so far, and lost it a lot after, what was it, like 6-7 laps. So not a good day for him. And the virtual safety car is off, and we are running again, as the the train is forming up. And we have 10 Sandals really close behind the Lunacy right now, but he couldn't make the attack yet. And of course Lunacy on the softer tire, so a bit faster than the Alfa Romeo behind him. But with an eye on ERS, he can make it. But then both cars still need to go for the pit lane. Lunacy has to go earlier than 10 Sandals. And we see some position changes in the back, as James Cruz just got overtaken by Forge the Dreamliner. And he's now moving back up and closing in on the train, as it's still there. Let's watch it from this angle, because this train is really close behind each other, especially the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, excuse me. And the McLaren is setting in it. That's a really clean overtake, going for the outside at the first corner. And Chandler spun a bit, and now losing 3 places already. And also the 2 Williams behind each other right now, as we have a yellow in sector 1. That will be for, I guess it was for Olerin. Fire is key. And one of the Williams went wide. That's Honest Crook. And yeah, the train keeps getting longer and longer. But of course, Future Dreamliner on the soft tire, so he will be much faster. So what's happening here with... not gonna watch that. Switching gears so much, that's really annoying. A really annoying sound. As Future Dreamliner now goes for the pit. And she seems to have a little glitch somewhere. So that can also be my game, but yeah, really annoying to watch and hear, as we are on board with Chanda. Oh, I guess Future Dreamliner had a drive-through penalty because he didn't pit. So that will be that will have been for speeding on the virtual safety car. And we have the Merc really closing up on the McLaren right now. Can he make it? No, not yet. Going for the second DRS. And he is taking the inside. And he's clean through. So good overtake from him there. As 10 Sandals still really close behind to Lunacy. And it is 1/10 of a second. And Ten Lunacy also picks up a penalty. So now he is not having the advantage of not having a penalty anymore. And we see a lot of guys really close behind each other. And also Geekon virtually, he is a lot of places up. Well, a lot, I believe he's 2 places, yes. As the Lunacy goes for the pit right now. Putting on those new fresh medium tires and going for 16 laps on those So he's definitely gonna go for a really big undercut and falling back to P7. Entering right in the train. Well, what was a train forming up with his teammate not very far behind him. And Kikon giving a lot of room there, so good clean racing from him, knowing that Lunacy is faster on those new fresh tires. And now overall we see a lot of gaps form, and the fights are falling down at the moment, but as we can see, a lot of guys on penalties, with MG of course on an 11-second penalty as he gets overtaken by the Lunacy right now, and that's really clean. Tries to keep it on the inside for turn 2, but didn't manage it. As also Joro takes a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but he will be on the new mediums, I guess. Let's have a look. Yeah, he will be on new mediums. And let's see, BB10 Pro is close behind 10 Sandless, but yeah, of course he is on the faster tire, seeming he has the younger tire, but pushing them to the limit already now, it wouldn't be very smart move, because you still need to have a good lap when you go through the pits. When you go for the pit. So as Ferry now goes for the pit lane quite early with 12 laps old mediums. My opinion, I think you can definitely manage to be 14. But yeah, you still want to race also, so not wanna take any gambles on tires. And we have a clean overtake from Chanda. As he is also on his new medium tires. And BBB10 really close behind Stan Sandals now, but didn't want to make the gamble of getting next to him already. And yeah, 10 Sandals on 50% ERS, so it will be hard for BBP10 to overtake him. As 10 Sandals is of course managing ERS very well. And there's a lock up there, and we also have James Cruz closing in on Chanda again. But Chanda had a really good exit there and no further action at the back. So let's watch this little fight in front for a few moments as he goes for it. No, he still hooked back. Oh, and yeah, 10 Sandals goes for the pits. So BBP10 back at P1 with DRS, a gap of 11 seconds on the P3. So this is a good position for him to go for a pit strategy, but Lunacy already back at P2 and he is on 4 lap all tires, so he will definitely be quicker there. But can he manage to close that gap of 12 seconds fast enough? And already closing in 2:10, so he is a lot quicker. Let's have some action as we see the Haas of Ferry closing in on the Mercedes of Miji, taking the inside here, trying to cross him back, and that's a really good cross. Let's have a different angle here as he gets a little pushed off on the grass, but he has DRS and taking an ERS also, and he's clean through. So that's a good overtake from him. And the BB10 now in the pit, falling back to P5, right in front, before then, right in front of his teammate, who was fighting with the Haas, but yeah, as BB10 Pro just closed in and put his car between those, and now his fight is a little gone. And BB10 Pro already close behind Ferry at P3. Both cars don't need to pit anymore, but yeah, BB10 Pro on 0 laps all tires. So with the DRS, is he going for the move? He is looking for it, but not close enough so far. And yeah, the lockup, but no big troubles here. And if Gender lost the spot, and oh no, it's Blender for life as he goes for the pit, and he's on soft tires, so he will definitely be faster than the guys in front of him. And can he manage to attack those in front? That's the big question right now. As he had a really big advantage here, and very really close, having the Mercedes behind him, and he is on ERS and he is on DRS, and he's going for it right now, but still no overtake. It seems BBP10 Pro doesn't dare to put it between him and the corner right there. It's like he's a little scary to overtake the car without braking it. So that's a very curious decision from him, as he's now 2/10 behind him, going for the first straight up to the hairpin. And is he managing to make the overtake right now, as he is now so close behind the Haas of Ferry? And he has DRS, no ERS anymore. And now he does, and he makes the move finally work. And he's back at P3. Yeah, unfortunate for his teammate, fell all the way back in this fight. Couldn't keep it up anymore after BB10 Pro shoved his car between him and Ferry. And let's see, we have James Cruz. We have the 3 cars behind it here, really close. It's 9, 8 and 7. So is there gonna be a little fight here? Let's hope so. We haven't seen a lot of action from the back so far. Let's hope we get some now. As James Cruz is really close behind Chandler. But of course both cars having DRS. Chandler having 10% less of ERS for the straight here, but James Cruz didn't have the exits well enough for keeping up and making overtake. And he hits the wall, so did he also hit his front wing there? No, no damage for his front wing, so that's good for him. As Michi is going for the pits on those new soft tires. And Ferry still really close behind BB10 Pro. Having DRS. BB10 Pro no ERS left. So is he going for the move at the next corner? Can he keep it close enough? And no, he can't. As also BB is closing in on 10 sandals. And yeah, we have finally seen some action from the back, I guess. As Olorin is kinda closing in on a Blender, but no real action time yet there. And yeah, still the cars here within a second of each other. As BB is really close behind 10th right now, going for the outside. Oh, and there's a little touch there. And again a little touch there. Did he break anything there? I don't think so. It wasn't that hard, but 2 little touches there as these guys really fighting for P2 and also very closing in and trying to take advantage of the moves from BB. So for this last few laps here there is gonna be a really close fight around here. As of course Tent really wants to attack Lunacy at the front, but needs to keep his defense high up. And here is BB going for the move. No, he doesn't, as we've seen a lot of time from him now, and now he's so close behind. He must go for it right now. Putting in it on the inside and crosses him really good. And now he's back at P2. So clean racing from him, but the gap still isn't closed. And also Lunacy really needs to push now, as BB already within a second of him. Right after the overtake on 10th Sandler's. And no, he's not gonna be able to fight this, and lost his position at P1. How unfortunate for him. So this is a really close fight from P4 till P1 going on in those last laps, as the train is kind of forming, all within a few seconds behind each other. So question is right now, who will be on those podiums? Is it the standing as we see right now? And where on the podium will we see them? Of course, as BB is making the gap larger on P2, and 10th really close behind Lunacy right now. Let's have a look, and both on DRS, but yeah, 10th faster with his little bit of ERS what he had still going on, and the Lunacy almost with his nose at the rear of Sandler's. And very, yeah, he's just driving behind it. He wants to attack, but he can't, because both cars in front of him have DRS. And it's so hard to overtake them then. Also Chandler really close behind James Cruz, I see. So let's have a quick look at the backward for the moment, as the DRS zone is coming up. Nah, he's not gonna make it so far. And the guys are just really fighting it over here. And Lunacy lost his DRS. Almost lost his DRS. And now with behind a second, and lost his DRS advantage on Gran on 10th. And oh, we saw a front wing flying there, and that will be from Sandler's. And we have yellow flag at sector 3, so that's at, yeah, that is from James Cruz and Chandler. So that was a fight going on there, I guess. And both cars seem to have damaged their cars really a lot in that fight. So yeah, that's the thing about commentating. You can't see everything. The second you watch the guys at the back trying to fight each other, and when you switch away one lap later, big crash going on. As Lunacy now already 2 seconds behind 10th, and not having DRS, as Very is looking for the attack. getting the car on the right line. Can he make it on the next DRS zone? That's the question. As both cars had a very good exit. And he's not going for it yet. So we will be going for it now, I guess. No DRS in use, only ERS. And no, he didn't manage to make it. So that will make the podium lineup for today, as I believe Sandler takes P1 because of penalties. And yeah, so that is the podium of today. It's Sandler's at P1, so good race from him. BB Jam Pro at P2 and Lunacy at P3. This is our podium, and if we have a yellow flag in sector 3, would that be for... I see no damage on his car. Yeah, so for unfortunate race for Future Dreamliner, starting at the front and then falling all the way back to P15. Very unfortunate for him. Also Joro with a good start and not managing to get back in line. But we've seen a lot of Nifa Sweden, driver of the day, well deserved. And we are watching the podium right now, so a good day for these guys. Very clean driving, and of course a really good day for Alfa Romeo. So that was the race of today, guys. Let's take a quick look back at the standings right now, and then we're closing off. And we see Ferry at P4, Holden at P5, Nifa Sweden P6, Gekon at 7, Blend of Alive at 8, MG at 9, and James Cruz at 10. So those are the cars in the highest points. Thank you for watching today. I hope my commentating was good enough for a second time, and we'll hopefully see you next time in the next race. Have a great day, and goodbye.